Hey, welcome to our shop just outside Kennesaw here in North Georgia. Or I suppose more accurately, welcome to our truck. We're going to do a little road trip today. I've had some requests to take a look at our retail space, and we're all moved in. The grand opening, or not the grand opening, the soft opening is on Monday. Today's Saturday. So I thought I'd take you and show you the booths and talk a little bit about my take on the role of retail in the diverse reselling business. But on the way there, we have to stop at the post office. I have an eBay business as well as what we do with furniture, and we had kind of a busy morning. So we got to stop at the post office, drop these packages off, and then we're going to head over to the mall. I'll give you a tour of my wife's retail space, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's get going. And as we've talked about before, in my opinion, the secret to a successful resale business is diversification. I think it's really, really important that you have diverse products, you have diverse markets, and that diversity will help you absorb the bumps that come with retail. The eBay business is something I've been doing for a couple of years now, and it's steady. We've got it scaled to exactly the size we want, so I'm able to handle it, sourcing for it, listing, shipping, handling customer issues with the free time that I have. As far as eBay goes, my opinion on that is you need to learn what sells, you need to know shipping inside and out, and then you've got to identify how big of a business you want to create. There's a bunch of really, really good eBay sellers on YouTube. I think the best is Terminal 99. He's an incredibly successful eBay seller. He doesn't buy pallets. He doesn't do any of the other silly stuff that a lot of people do. He's not a drop shipper. What he does is he goes out to flea markets and yard sales and auctions and using his network, and he finds high quality stuff to put on eBay, and he gets really, really good money for what he does. And I think the last I knew, I believe he's been able to turn it into a full-time business. He has a couple of employees that help him as well, so he's a great guy to watch. Craigslist Hunter is another very, very successful eBayer. Him and his partner have it's not a pawn shop, I guess it's sort of like a thrift shop out towards Chicago, and a lot of what they get in and they buy, they sell on eBay. He's really, really good tips, really, really good perspective, and he's very honest. A lot of the eBay sellers that are on YouTube, in my opinion, are just entertainers. They're lying through their teeth. They're trying to get subscribers by saying that if you follow their systems, you'll make $50 or $60 or $100,000 a year on eBay, and that's just not going to happen for a new seller unless you have a specific niche for sourcing and selling this stuff. But those are a couple of good ones. I keep my eBay business fairly private, and I think it's probably the first time we've talked about it. But I'm almost at the post office. I'll turn the camera off, I'll drop this off, and then we'll head down to the mall. It's about a half hour from here, and I'll give you a nice tour of the shop. Okay, packages are mailed. One of the things I think is critically important to a successful eBay business is customer service, and that is super fast shipping. I go to the post office every day. I have an order. I never wait. Kind of tight here. When I list an item, I have a box ready for it. If it sells 5 minutes after I list it, I'm ready to ship it. I have 100% positive feedback. I work very hard to keep it that way. If I do have an issue with a customer, they always get the benefit of the doubt unless I feel I'm getting scammed. Here's just an example. I have a number of little computer mice that I've been selling. I bought about 100 of them for 50 cents a piece, and they've been selling for between $8 and $9 a piece with free shipping. So you're not going to get rich with this, but it was just an opportunity that I had to buy them. I did, and frankly I wish I didn't, but I've made my money back. But I have probably 15 different teams, and each listing has quantities. Well, I had an order for a Virginia Tech Hokies computer mouse the other day. I went upstairs to fill it, and I was out. Somehow I either made a mistake when I listed that I only had 2 and I put down I had 4, or something went wrong, I don't know, but I take responsibility for it. So what do? I immediately emailed the buyer. I explained to him that I don't have one in stock. I refunded his money. I went online to eBay. I found another computer mouse. I bought it with my money and had it shipped directly to his house. What else could you ask from a seller? So here's a situation that could have turned into a negative feedback, canceled order, blah, blah, blah. By taking the extra time to take care of the customer, it was resolved. So that's the only suggestion I have for how to operate your eBay business. As far as sourcing and what you want to sell and what you want your average sale price to be and how much inventory you can store, that's entirely up to you. If you're just going to get started on eBay, start out slow. Check out the videos on YouTube. Learn how to ship, how to keep your shipping costs low. Know all about priority mail boxes and envelopes from the post office, which are free. When to use first class, when to use medium mail. Know how to use flat rate. Know how to use regional rate, which can be a real money saver sometimes. And just start out slow and see how it goes for you. And maybe it'll grow. But it's part of what we do, in addition to the furniture stuff and the retail spaces that we have down here that we're on our way to. And retail spaces, I think, is an important part of the game because it lets you get high-end prices for things that you may not be able to get that kind of price for somewhere else. For example, I bought a stainless steel food cart like you would put on a back porch if you're having a barbecue. I think it was a Budweiser branded thing. It was some giveaway Budweiser had. I paid $20 for it, and I was going to take it to the auction because I didn't think anybody would want it. My wife grabbed it and she goes, OMG, we'll sell that at the retail space. I was like, who's going to buy this? It's a Budweiser stainless steel cart. It wasn't anything special. Some lady spent $450 for that thing, and she was giddy to get it. OMG, she says, this is exactly what I've been looking for. I can't believe I finally found it. She was from Alabama. So there's a place for it, but it's expensive. The space is expensive. You pay 10% of your gross sales to the mall as well as the renting of the space, and it's a lot of work. You have to keep, upkeep the booths. And then the other issue that not a lot of people talk about when it comes to public retail like that is you have issues of inventory shrinkage, which is just a very nice word for people steal stuff from you. And number 2, damage. I've had 2 very nice pieces of furniture. In fact, you watched me refinish both of them. One was the tilt top table, the Baker tilt top table, and the other one was the solid mahogany dresser. Both of those were damaged, probably maliciously, in the mall. Deep scratches in the finish. And now whether or not it was a kid, unsupervised that came through and did it, or someone dragged another piece of merchandise across the finish, it's frustrating, it's angering, but it's part of the game in retail. So be prepared for it. But you'll see, we're almost, we'll be there in a few minutes. Normally when I go out to travel anywhere associated with the business, I like to try to stop at thrift stores and Goodwills along the way, see if I can find anything. But I'm kind of up against it today, time-wise, because Grandpa's got the grandkids coming this afternoon, and I need to be ready to meet my daughter to pick them up. So we'll get this part of the mall done, and then my day is going to belong to my grandkids. So I'll see you in just a little bit. And here we are at the new mall. Let's go inside and take a look. enjoyed that little trip to the antique mall. Get an idea of what our retail space looks like. It's a tricky business. You never know what's going to sell. Sometimes you put something in there and you think it'll be there forever and it sells in 5 minutes, and sometimes you have beautiful pieces that take forever to sell, and sometimes I guess they just don't. It's a finicky customer base and a finicky market, but it's all part of the game. I'm real proud of my wife for what she did, setting all those booths up, and all that stuff we've accumulated over the last 5 or 6 years at auctions and estate sales and garage sales and things like that. So it's pretty cool. This year we're working on marketing some of our stuff rather than just waiting for the right customer to wander into the shop and see it. We'll be setting up a website with the help of my daughter and doing some other things. So I guess that's kind of exciting. But in the meantime, we'll keep refinishing furniture and flipping it the best way we think we can, and also running our eBay business. So listen, from our shop just outside Kennesaw here in North Georgia, best regards. Thanks for watching. Take good care. We'll see you next video. Bye.